All right. Hello, Synergy family. Welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. How are you all today? I am super excited. We get to continue our mindset talks as it relates to your health. Today, I am super pumped because we are going to talk about human needs. Now, they have been talked about forever. It started with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That pyramid, look it up. It's very famous, especially in psychology circles. It's what a lot of other people have based their work off of. I've been in the Tony Robbins environment for a long time. He has his 6 human needs. There's others in the field who have their own type of need structure. So what does this all have to do with your health? What does that have to do with getting voltage, as we talk about here on the Synergy platform? What does that have to do with getting your cells the proper energy that they need? Well, let me start with a question, and we will take it all the way through from the psychology to your cellular makeup. And that question is, what matters most to you in life? It's a common question when you're trying to figure out what to do next, what your purpose is, what your career path should be. A lot of people say career is most important to them in life. They want to get that promotion, they want to have financial stability. Some people might say that their relationships are most important, their family, their friends, their colleagues. They want to have people that they can depend on, that will support them, they can support in turn. Others might say it's more internal. It's their faith. It's their fitness. It's the things that are within their control that they really want to bolster at this time in their life. That is what is most important to them. So, what is it for you? What is most important to you in life? Now, think about that. And what if you're thinking, okay, it's my career? And then I put you on a plane and I drop you into the middle of the desert. No food, no water, nothing around. What then becomes the most important piece of your life? Well, it's probably shelter, getting balance, getting away from the sun, followed closely by that food and water. Because if you don't have those things, none of that other stuff matters. How about if somebody took your head and held it underwater? Even a more dramatic example. What mattered just a moment ago no longer seems to matter if you can't get oxygen. Things can change very, very rapidly. Now, we see this all the time. If somebody gets into a car accident, if they get a cancer diagnosis, have a heart attack, something dramatic shifts in their life, they have to address it right now. Everything else gets put by the wayside until that is addressed, until they fix that broken bone, until they heal that brain injury, until they get that radiation to keep that cancer at bay. All Everything else that they had going on in their life has to take a back seat so that they can get grounded health wise. But that's a dramatic example. That is obvious. We all know if that happened to us, yes, we're going to take a step back and focus on that until we can do those other things. But what if it's a slow drip? What if it keeps lingering in the background? What if it is there, but we can kind of pile on some other stuff? We can kind of move on with our day. You know, what if you're an athlete in your 20s, you're feeling great, and then you get into your 30s, things aren't as quick as they used to be. You're not able to do as much. Is that just aging, or is that a problem to address? What if your mobility starts to suffer, your energy drops, you need that second cup, that third, fourth cup of coffee just to make it to lunch? Is that something that you need to address at a root cause level? Or again, is that just I'm getting older, I have a job that I'm not super thrilled about, I have focus on so many other things, I'm going to put that off. we see that a lot too, because that tends to build and build and build until it gets to that dramatic point, until you can't climb the stairs without stopping halfway in between. You can't do things like go to the grocery store without needing some assistance, or it culminates in a dramatic event, a stroke, a heart attack, something along those lines. Again, none of this is medical advice. Check with your doctor. However, wouldn't it be better to not get to that point? Wouldn't it be better to address that foundational need? In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that fundamental piece, that foundation of the pyramid is what is known as those baseline fundamental needs, the food, the water, the oxygen. Those things need to be taken care of in order to do anything else in that pyramid. Now, I go into this in great depth in my coaching clients, my consulting clients that really want to go high level. If you want to go deeper into anything that I'm talking about this week, last week, any other week, please click the link in the description. I would be happy to talk it through and see how you can optimize your health and your vitality by implementing perhaps this energy devices, perhaps not, perhaps something different based on your unique needs. So click that link, see if there's something that you can do to optimize your health. So my point is not to get into that. My point is that without those things, nothing else matters. Now let's look at it from a cellular level. Now that's macro. We know when these things are occurring because we can sense them. We have the pain, we have the low energy. They manifest in a way where we are forced to take care of them, whether we like to or not. When we have that high flying career like I did, but then I have to take a back seat because my health starts to deteriorate, it's a wake-up call, right? So that's at the macro level. But what happens on the cellular level? What happens when you start to focus on things that are great? You want that promotion. You want to get in better shape. You want to have better relationships. You want to have more energy throughout the day to contribute, to make an impact, to do things that are exciting for you. How can your cells support you or drag you down in that process? Well, I thought, like so many others think, well, if I take the right supplements, it will make sure that my cells are aligned with my outward focus and I will be able to do those things. Wasn't working. Why not? I thought for sure, okay, I'll exercise. I will condition my cells. Those muscle cells, they want to grow, right? Just like I want to grow in my career. So the muscle cells, they must want to work with me. They must want to grow. I'm lifting the weights. They're not growing. They're in pain. I have muscle soreness before, during, and after my workout. I get more lethargic. It's not happening the way that I want it to happen. How come those muscle cells aren't working with me? The same thing happens at the cellular level as in your macro level. If they don't have that fundamental base ready to go, then none of that other stuff can stack appropriately. You might be doing some of them, but the foundation is crumbling. Now, the foundation for a cell is a little bit different than the foundation for you. Yes, you need the oxygen, the food, the water. However, the cells break those down into more fundamental pieces. And that the most fundamental of those pieces is energy. All of those are broken down into their structures to give energy to the cell so that they can properly communicate, so that they can divide, they can continue on to support you. So if that energy is not solid, then none of the other pieces can work, at least as effectively as you want them to. And that is why at Synergy, we see so many people getting results, getting healthier, getting pain relief that they didn't see anywhere else because they were trying to attack it in many different ways. Some of them are useful, but none of them are as useful as getting that energy directly into the cells so that they can help you with all of the other modalities that you're going to layer on top of that. Does that make sense? So once you have that baseline, once that a fundamental human need, that fundamental cellular need is met, then you can start to focus on those higher order things that really light you up, that are really going to move the needle and motivate you and drive you forward as a person. And so my challenge to you is, what is most important to you in your life? And then the follow-up question, how do you get there? How do you ensure that you're set and ready to go, ready to put all your focus into that thing and can do so with minimal obstacles, minimal hesitation, and really go for it? And that, to me, is making sure your cells are aligned, their voltage is up, the energy can flow throughout the system properly, and then that frees up your mind. It frees up your body to carry your focus forward, to be able to do all of those things better than you ever have. I know when I was younger, I was rocking and rolling. I was doing so many things. And now I want to do even more, but I can't do it as easily if I don't have that cellular health. So that has been my focus. My focus has been on getting that cellular health back. And I am almost there. I'm almost ready to go. As you could see, I am passionate about this stuff, and I would not be standing here if it wasn't for shoring up that foundation, getting my cells to a point where I can deliver this message to you and I can be passionate. I can stand up here for 20, 30, 50 minutes at a time, no problem at all, and share my impact with others because I have that foundation solid. So that's my challenge to you. Figure out what is most important to you in your life. Make sure that all of those fundamental pieces are in place so that you can carry it forward. And then next week, we are going to talk about mindset as it relates to your pain and health. How do those intertwine at a more fundamental level? How can you use your mind to overcome some challenges in addition to a physical implementation, a physical modality that will help along those things? Because we see it over and over. If the same person gets the same treatment, or they're getting one therapy, somebody over here is getting the exact same therapy, they have different results. Why is that the case? A lot of it comes down to mindset. So we're going to go through that next week and see how we can break through with the physical modalities and overlay that with the mindset to really supercharge your health and your vitality, not just now, but moving forward. Nothing before this matters. You got to this place for a reason. You can't change the past. What you can change is how you act now and what you decide to do in the future. That I am super excited about as well. Again, if you want to have a deeper conversation on any of this or have some questions, click that link in the description. Set up a Calendly appointment with me or one of our amazing team members, and we would be happy to help. Speaking of that as well, I do want to mention, as I'm leaving here, that we are having our next Foundation of Health Summit, June 6th and 7th. Sign up for that if you haven't already. It is free to attend for device owners and any purchase price that you will have as a non-device owner will go to store credit for our devices, including the brand new Biomodulator Plus, which is now over the counter. You no longer need a prescription for that. So it's super accessible. That is what I started with. I love that device. It has the same core technology as our higher level devices, and it's a great price point to start with and get that voltage back into your body. And we are going to have an even better lineup. I know it's hard to believe. We keep getting better for the Foundation of Health Summit. I'm super excited about this next one. We're going to keep improving each time we're integrating your feedback, making sure that each one gets better and better. So please sign up for that. It is going quick, and we will see you in just over a month from now for that. But again, any questions in between, set up a Calendly appointment. We'd be happy to help. Keep that mindset strong. Make sure your foundation is healthy and go for those goals. And we will just stay energized, my friends. And I will see you next week. All right. Have a good one.